मेरे लिए सीए करना आसान हो चुका था because so I was 14 when I did my A levels and that is when I started my journey of CA. I used to love maths. Whether I should go for CA, whether I should go for ACCA and etc. What other options are available to me? If I compare CA and ACCA, I honestly believe that I was a 16 when I started my articles, and everyone around me, my batchmates were much older than me. Around there was saying कि अच्छा एक बच्ची आ गई है ऑडिट करने के लिए. By the end of my articles period, I had I was working as a senior. I had a team. जो एज में मुझसे बड़े थे, but I managed to lead them. I worked as manager supply chain finance. It was a huge role actually, and I was managing a team of 10 people. I worked on my leadership skills. I learned how to manage people who are older than you. I'm working in an MSc now for the past 2 years. कल के ऊपर छोड़ेंगे वो कल नहीं आती.
Chartered accountancy, a huge professional qualification. आज भी जो इसका नाम सुनता है वो पहले यही सोचता है कि कितने साल लग जाएंगे और बहुत मुश्किल है, बहुत सारी चीज़ों को डिटेल में एक्सटेंसिव वे में पढ़ना पड़ता है और एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट जो हमें प्रोफेशनली क्वालिफाइड कर देता है ना सिर्फ पाकिस्तान में बल्कि और मुल्कों में भी. इन सब चीज़ों के बैरियर को ब्रेक किया हमारी अपनी पाकिस्तान की एक ऐसी स्टूडेंट ने जिसने ना सिर्फ इन सारे मिथ्स को इरेज किया बल्कि एक नया रिकॉर्ड बनाया, एंड दैट इज़ नॉट ओनली इन पाकिस्तान बट ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. शी इज़ वन ऑफ आवर स्टुपेंडस स्टूडेंट who created an astounding record in Guinness Book of Records as well. So let's welcome Miss Hooria Batool. अस्सलाम वालेकुम Hooria.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
कैसी हैं आप?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. आप बताइए.
मैं भी बिल्कुल ठीक. भाई हम सबको आपसे बहुत सारे सवाल करने हैं और स्पेशली हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को आपकी जर्नी के बारे में, आपके एक्सपीरियंसेस के बारे में बहुत कुछ जानना है. ओके Hooria, मेरा आपसे पहला सवाल ये है कि आपने अपनी एजुकेशन कब से स्टार्ट की और किस तरह के एक्सपीरियंसेस थे और हाउ हैव यू डिसाइडेड दैट यू आर गोइंग टू एंड अप एज अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट. ये सारी चीज़ें आप मुझे ज़रा बताएं. सिंस योर चाइल्डहुड, दैट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ चाइल्ड यू वर?
So as a child, I was just loved to study actually. That's something that my father, my parents, my relatives told me कि जब मैं छोटी थी तब से मुझे पढ़ने का बहुत शौक था. So I was always curious to learn new things, not just कि मुझे टॉप करने है something. I was just always curious. Even when I was, I used to जब इंटरनेट आया हमारे घर में पहली दफ़ा, so I was just so curious to learn about computer and everything. So this type of person I was when I was child. And when I was, the reason I became a chartered accountant, if I tell you, so there isn't just one reason जिसकी वजह से I chose to become this. But there are multiple reasons to be honest. When I was a child और जब मैं TV देखती थी, so I used to look at females who were, in the leadership roles and everything. So I used to tell everyone कि हाँ, this is मैं ये बनने वाली हूँ, siblings and everyone कि मैं ऐसी बनूंगी बड़े होके. So as I grew up, if it just 10 11th grade, my schooling is from the educators. So basically, my father wanted me to do Cambridge system. The professor, because educators they didn't offer Cambridge, so I left my school, or we were just in the process of finding another school. My father, he took me to his academy, or there was this teacher, my teacher who was a very close friend of my father. उन्होंने suggest किया कि हम एक काम करते हैं, instead of going through a conventional way, हम एक काम करते हैं कि हम इसको O levels में appear करवा देते हैं. So I was just 12 when I completed my 7th grade. और उसके next year ही I appeared in my O levels. So I was 13 when I completed my O levels. I had a total of 10 subjects. So O levels करने के बाद
Okay, I just want to stop you here because you said that in 1 year you have completed 10 subjects of O levels, and I have already I'm associated with O levels teaching, so I know that O levels is itself a very extensive curriculum. So इतना मतलब एक 13 year old या 12 year old let's say कह लें, एक 12 year old student जो है वो 10 सब्जेक्ट एक साथ पढ़ रहा है. सो हाउ इज़ इट पॉसिबल, लाइक कैसे कैसी जर्नी थी वो, आपने किस तरह से कंप्लीट किया? हाउ हैव यू मैनेज्ड योर टाइम एंड किस तरीके के सब्जेक्ट्स लिया आपने?
I started. I did O levels and A levels both privately. Or my father used to teach, so math subjects जैसे maths and statistics are दो subjects जो मैंने अपने father से ही पढ़ लिए. Then there was an accounting tutor. इसके अलावा rest of the subjects I did privately. तो जब मैंने सेल्फ स्टडी के थ्रू किया, सो व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड कि अच्छा बिजनेस स्टडीज है, इकोनॉमिक्स है, सो देयर वर सब्जेक्ट्स that were altogether a different world for me because हमने कभी इनका सुना ही नहीं होता when we are studying and we are in 7th grade and so it was something कि बिल्कुल डिफरेंट चीज थी मेरे लिए. एंड आई रिमेम्बर कि उस टाइम पे आई वाज सो इमेच्योर, और बिकॉज माय sisters were going in school and they were like in 6th grade or 5th grade and I used to envy them कि यार ये स्कूल जा रही हैं और वो इतना मजे मजे का होमवर्क कर रही हैं, आई एम नॉट गेटिंग द होमवर्क. एंड आई मतलब मुझे इतना सा ना फील होता था बिकॉज आई यूज्ड टू बी द वन स्टूडेंट जो कि ना टीचर्स की फेवरेट होती थी ना, यूज्ड टू interact so much with my friends and everyone. तो but I think when I started studying and जब मैंने business studies or economics and the rest of the subjects actually when I started studying them, I would say that the curriculum was so well designed. You would know the authors, the books. They are so well written. कि even if a layman is just studying it for the first time or self study भी आप करना चाहो, so they are very well written and very well designed. तो आई स्टार्टेड enjoying it. जब मैंने बिजनेस स्टडीज को पढ़ना शुरू किया, आई वाज सो enjoying it कि मुझे दिल करता था कि मैं नेक्स्ट चैप्टर पढूं, मैं नेक्स्ट चैप्टर पढूं कि व्हाट्स मेरा इंटरेस्ट इतना डेवलप हो चुका था उसमें. एंड आई यूज्ड टू, बिकॉज देयर वर सम कॉन्सेप्ट, देयर वर सम थिंग्स जो कि आई थिंक दे वर डिफिकल्ट टू ग्रास्प. तो व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू इज कि मैं इंटरनेट पे बहुत ज़्यादा सर्च करती थी. देयर वर जस्ट इंटरनेशनल फोरम्स जिसके ऊपर मैं आई यूज्ड टू कनेक्ट विद अदर स्टूडेंट्स. एंड देयर वर सम उस टाइम की मैं बात करी बैक इन 2010. सो अब जिस तरीके से लेक्चर्स अवेलेबल है उस तरह से उस टाइम पे अवेलेबल नहीं होते थे. सो यू हैड टू सर्च एंड यू हैड टू डिग डाउन एंड यू हैड टू मेक सम एफर्ट्स. सो आई डिड दैट. और आई थिंक कि उसका दैट वाज द रीजन कि मेरे लिए सीए करना आसान हो चुका था बिकॉज मैं उस टाइम पे जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स आई ग्रास्प दोस्त, तो आई थिंक दोस आर समथिंग जो मुझे अभी तक याद हैं बिकॉज आई अंडरस्टूड देम इन डेप्थ इन डिटेल. So that was a very good experience, I would say. A difficult path, I think this is something that I cannot possibly express in words कि वो किस तरह का केस था. But I think when I look back now, I think it was all worth it. So yeah, I was 13 when I did my O levels. Coming back to the story, and the next year I appeared in my A levels. So I was 14 when I did my A levels, and that is when I started my journey of CA, of becoming a chartered accountant.
I think this is also so amazing. I mean, the story till your A levels is also amazing because जिस तरह अभी आपने कहा कि because you were yourself involved in all kind of research work and inquiries and everything on your own, so that made you so independent that CA seems so easy for you. क्योंकि जैसे अभी आपने कहा कि अगर आप खुद से इन्वॉल्व हुई तो आपको बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो हैं वो आज तक याद हैं. तो आई थिंक दैट इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग एंड द ब्यूटीफुल थिंग ऑफ अ लर्नर्स जर्नी कि जब तक वो हैंड्स ऑन एक्सपीरियंस या वो रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस खुद नहीं मिलता तब तक आपको कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर भी नहीं होते बिकॉज के आई मीन you're not doing it, you're just listening or reading it. Beautiful. अच्छा, और उसके बाद आपने कहा कि all of this ended in 14 years. Look, again another record. I think it's amazing again because I am associated with A levels as well, so I know that how students are worried even in the age of 18 and 19 that just 3 to 4 papers is so difficult for them when they are in A levels. So I mean amazing. So okay, फिर आपने जो है जब आपका A levels complete हुआ तो what were your subjects in A levels?
So I had maths, accounting, and business studies.
Okay, and with these prerequisites, you decided to go towards which line?
That is when, because I had all business subjects, accounting and business subjects in my O levels and A levels, or I used to love maths. So because I think this is something I got from the genes because my father was a mathematician. So
Maths
I think
teacher.
उसकी वजह से yeah. So this was the combination, I would say कि maths, business studying. I think this was a perfect combination for me. So उसके बाद when I started assessing कि अच्छा what's next. My father actually suggested he wanted me to become a chartered accountant, but obviously he gave me the choice. Okay, what do you want to become? This is something that I want you to become, and then I started researching on it. और मैंने check किया कि अच्छा what are the pros, whether I should go for CA, whether I should go for ACCA, and etc. What other options are available to me? But I believe that what attracted me the most is obviously the articles period, because this sounded like this is interesting, or which other qualifications were not offering actually. This is one of the major reasons that I opted for CA. Then again, CA I think was the fastest route available for my dreams.
Wow.
For me to become come into a leadership role, for me to become a decision maker and everything. So this is the reason, and having the right capability set, I believe in this is the right fit for me. And that is when I decided to become a chartered accountant.
वाओ ओके माय क्वेश्चन टू यू इज़ जैसे आपने कहा कि यू हैव कंप्लीटेड योर ए लेवल्स सो आपने केम्ब्रिज सिस्टम से पढ़ा सो यूजुअली हमने देखा है स्टूडेंट्स के अंदर एक थॉट डेवलप हुई है कि जो लोग केम्ब्रिज यानी कि ए लेवल्स करते हैं दे ऑलवेज प्रेफर ACCA बिकॉज यू नो दैट इज़ ऑल्सो समथिंग विच इज़ एफिलिएटेड विद UK और CA जो है दैट्स फ्रॉम द पाकिस्तान सो ऐसा क्यों है कि आपने जो है वो ACCA पे जो है वो CA को ज़्यादा प्रेफरेंस दी
As I mentioned कि one of the major reasons was the articles period जो ACCA offer नहीं करता, और उस टाइम पे I remember when I started my thesis, तो exemptions भी खत्म हो गई थी जो ACCA का जो डायरेक्टर होता है to the articles. So that being said, I think that if I compare CA and ACCA, I honestly believe that the curriculum of CA, I believe this is that is is better than ACCA. So I think the person that's that is as ICAP and the CA is grooming is, I believe, is much more, is the person is more learns more in
profound
depth
okay
in CA route as compared to the ACCA. But
okay
nevertheless, ICCAs are that's a wonderful field too. But I just weighed the pros and cons, and I thought that this is a better choice for me.
Wow, I think that's also one of your achievement that you're a born decision maker because this is a very rare capability जो कि students में आजकल पाई जाती है कि आप अपना decision जो है वो एक छोटी उम्र से खुद से अपने experiences और अपनी ही research के basis पे लें. Usually हमारे यहाँ students या तो teachers या parents या फिर counselors पे depend करते हैं. But I think what you just said कि आपने इन सारी चीज़ों पे research की and then you found out that this is much more better, this is profound and premium and this will give you more exposure to the industry and the audit side. So I think that's also brilliant. अच्छा Hooria, मेरा दूसरा question ये कि okay, so when your CAF completed and obviously the articleship period has started, तो उस वक्त आपको कैसा feel हुआ, and because that was the first step towards your let's say a dream, a goal which you wanted to achieve. So how was that?
So I believe the start of my articles was the most difficult phase that I went through in this journey, because I was just 16 when I started my articles, and everyone around me, the managements were much older than me. And I just felt that I wasn't, felt that kind of inclusivity when I used to interact with them. And I remember when I went on my first client, so everyone around there was saying कि अच्छा एक बच्ची आ गई है audit करने के लिए. So I used to hear this from everywhere, because articles period is something you're entering into a practical life. So it was my first time कि अच्छा I'm entering into a real world. So because initially I remember कि managers or seniors were reluctant to include me in the team, thinking कि अच्छा ये अभी बहुत छोटी है age में, she's immature, she won't be able to handle things and everything. That is when that was a very difficult phase of my life actually. But gradually I believe I found some very great mentors. My articles are from Air Ferguson. So I found some really great friends, some really great mentors who had actually guided me and made me, they उन्होंने मुझे actually I would give them a lot of credit कि आज जो मैंने सीखा, they have a huge hand in that. So gradually it became better, and by the end of my articles period, I had, I was working as a senior. I had a team जो एज में मुझसे बड़े थे, but I managed to lead them. So I think वो आगे भी I was aware कि this is something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So better be prepared for it.
Wow, amazing, amazing. जैसे आपने कहा, yeah, that's for true that if any 16-year-old joins the team of experienced people and in such a big firm, so obviously उनको उसको तो कभी भी serious नहीं ले सकते. और फिर आपने वहाँ से आज तक का सफ़र जो किया, जिसमें आपने बल्कि उसके बाद तक का सफ़र जिसमें आप you become the team lead and you were actually leading all these experienced people under you. So that's a completely amazing journey, I must say. अच्छा, सो आपने अभी बताया कि यू हैव डन योर आर्टिकलशिप विद सच अ बिग फर्म A.F. Ferguson and you still owe to them that whatever you are, whoever you are now is all because of the training you got there. So my question is that आपने फिर audit firm छोड़ के now you are in MNC.
Yes.
So why have you decided to be in industry rather than being still attached with audit firm?
So, being in the industry, there's always, even when I was doing my articles or जब हम लोग different clients के जाते थे, so being in industry was my dream actually, being in an MNC or working as a CFO one day, and this is something what I aspired. So my interest in audit never actually developed, to be honest. So I always looked at them. When I used to go on clients, I looked at them. This is my aspiration. So जब मेरे articles खत्म हुए in 2017, because I qualified a year before my articles ended. So my articles ended in 2017. During that, I went on a secondment in an MNC as well. So it was a great experience. And I learned a great deal from there. Or then in 2017, my articles ended, and I think another journey started. Actually, another phase started when I ended my articles, because now I had to get a job somewhere, and people were not, willing to give a 19-year-old, because I was 20 when I completed my articles. Yeah, so they weren't willing to give a 20-year-old a managerial position. कि अच्छा इसके नीचे there will be people who will be much older than her. So should we give her? Should we not give her? So it was a challenge getting a job. So my first job was in a local company. Then I joined dairy sector shortly after that, like a year after that, and I worked in there for 4 years. I worked as manager supply chain finance. It was a huge role actually, and I was managing a team of 10 people, and they was much older than me. Like they were like twice my age almost. But
No
that
doubt.
is where I learned to, yes. So that is where I worked on my leadership skills. I learned how to manage people who are older than you, and I believe that because whenever graduate or कोई भी the fresh person who is going into the industry, so you are going to find people who are older than you, who are more experienced than you, but you are managing them because you are more qualified than them. तो ये चीज आई थिंक ये आपको फिर ग्रेजुअली यू लर्न टू टैकल सच सिचुएशंस, एंड वो मेरे लिए चैलेंज थोड़ा ज़्यादा था बिकॉज आई वॉज वेरी यंग एट दैट एज, बट ग्रेजुअली आई लर्न हाउ टू डील विद सच सिचुएशंस, एंड अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह नाउ इट्स गोइंग वेरी वेल. आई एम वर्किंग इन एन MNC now for the past 2 years, and it's going great, alhamdulillah.
Wow, this is also very nice. As you said, के inclusivity जो है वो अब now it's coming and people are actually accepting the fact that even the new generation can teach us a lot, because they are the age of they're actually born in the age of digitalization. So obviously we need to learn a lot from these younger generation, जो कि पहले इतना आसान नहीं होता था. अच्छा, जैसे आप बता रही हैं कि आपको secondment मिली, so you went to another country. So which region you went?
No, it was in Pakistan.
अच्छा, you were in
The secondment
Pakistan.
was in Pakistan, but just in industry.
Okay. Acha, my question is that usually in this situation, what we are having in Pakistan these days, like a lot of, a different kind of unsettlement and, instability in economic factor, in other factors as well. So people are looking forward to abroad. तो आप जो कि एक वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड ब्रेकर भी हैं और आपके पास माशाल्लाह से इस एज में इतने वास्ट एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं एंड यू हैव एक्चुअली डन सो मच एंड यू लर्न सो मच सो हैवंट यू एवर डिसाइडेड और एवर प्लान्ड और थॉट अबाउट मूविंग आउट फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान?
Honestly, because no, Pakistan is my home, and nobody wants to leave their home because आपकी affiliation होती है, your family is here, और आपके home country होती है, so nobody wants to leave their home. I don't want to leave Pakistan, but unfortunately, the things that you have mentioned, के instability, and there are a lot of things going on, uncertainty है पाकिस्तान के अंदर. So this is why people prefer कि हाँ हम पाकिस्तान से बाहर जाके settle हो जाएं. And apart from that, I believe that there are several things from the recognition point of view, from a lot a lot of things that I quite outside Pakistan actually has to work on a lot of things. But I actually do want to work for it. Even if so one day I decide to go outside of Pakistan, but eventually I want to come back and do something for the economy of my country, for industries and everything. I want to contribute. I want to play my part for my Pakistan.
Oh, that's beautiful. Such a patriotic feeling you have. I must say that we should be proud of you for everything, what you have done, and how you made us proud in all over the world, especially by doing such great things in such young age. अच्छा अब मैं आपसे सिर्फ एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन कि फॉर एग्जांपल आपको पता है बहुत सारे बच्चे हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट में और all over the country CA में enrolled हैं, ठीक है. So being a chartered accountant at such young age and you know having so much experience in MNC and audit firm and everything, and also the market transition you might have noticed and seen over the years, तो आप इनको एक किस तरीके का मैसेज देना चाहेंगे that how they should plan their you know further decisions about academics, about their career choices and all?
I have recently been to several orientation sessions in ICAP and different institutes, and what I told the students, what I actually wanted to tell the students is, working in an MNC, I know that there are people coming from different routes. Okay, there are people coming from universities, there are people coming from ECCA, CA, so there are all different routes. But and what I see chartered accountants, they lack in some things, जिसकी वजह से the people that are coming from universities or even from ACCA, they take this things. Reason being that chartered accountants are, you know, not as good in their presentation skills as they should be, or as someone who is going to be in a managerial or a leadership position should be. So what I want to tell them is that you need to start working on it right now, because if you wait कि हाँ जब हम जॉब पे चले जाएंगे and then we start planning things, so that's not going to happen, because if you want to become a chartered accountant, you need to think like a chartered accountant now. That's a gradual process. That's not going to happen in one day. So so I'm not on Facebook actually. I don't. I have a Facebook account, but I don't usually use it. So I started recently interacting with some students on Facebook and on LinkedIn and etc. And I think, and when I believe that there's a huge difference in people who are, you know, studying and the people who are working in firms. So when I interact with people on Facebook actually, so वो students होते हैं जो कि अभी ना अपने बिल्कुल स्टार्ट में होते हैं, एजुकेशन के सीए स्टार्ट में होते हैं, वो अपनी मौज मस्ती में होते हैं. They don't realize what they are saying, what they are doing, और they just wait कि हाँ one day when we will become chartered accountant, तब we will start behaving like a chartered accountant. This is not how it works. You have to be very careful. You have to be very wise in your circle, in your gathering. There's something that I recently heard from a lady. She said, so you are actually the average of 5 people that you hang out with. So you need to be very careful. What's your circle? Who are those 5 people that you are hanging out with? Because you will eventually become one of them. So
True.
it's very necessary that you just, you know, that's the right time. कल के ऊपर छोड़ेंगे वो कल नहीं आती. You have to change your way of thinking right now, because it all starts from your mindset. So
beautifully expressed. Yeah, I must say I would second your thought and the idea which you have given to our students कि कल कभी नहीं आता, आज है आपके पास. So if you really want to be a chartered accountant, you need to think like that and you have to act like that. For example, it has to be in your attitude. Only then you can achieve it. एंड और एक सबसे बड़ी चीज़ कि हमारे यहाँ जो यूथ है दे टेक presentation as a secondary thing. I mean, they think कि अगर technically sound होंगे तो काफ़ी है and presentation doesn't matter. But I think presentation matters a lot because that makes your first impression everywhere, and that's the universal code of conduct. So thank you so much, Hooria, for being with us on today's podcast. It was lovely talking to you, especially listening about your journey, about your experiences, about the transition you faced, and also the inclusivity concept you talked about, and the expression you actually gave to our students in the end कि किस तरीके से आपको अभी से अपने future को plan करना है. And you need to develop that presentation skill and also understand that attitude makes a huge difference in your life. If you have a right attitude, only then you can achieve your dreams and live it. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.